Hi everyone and welcome to another video. If you're new here, I talk a lot about health and self-improvement. So if you like that, you've come to the right place. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss my notifications. So today's video, we're going to talk about how to achieve your goals. So to achieve your goals, first off, well, you need to have a specific goal in mind, and not just have a specific goal in mind. It has to be something achievable, something that isn't going to make you doubt it and fall off. So for example, some people might be trying to lose weight. Like, for example, if a man's trying to get cut and he's wanting to get to like single digit body fat, maybe that's going a bit too far. It's not necessarily even healthy at that point. So if you're a woman, getting down to like size 6 or below, is that really necessary? So you have to focus on a goal that's realistic, that's achievable, something that isn't going to be too daunting. So yeah, like, you have to just not kind of just buy into like the social media misleading stuff about get down to 6% body fat, or get down to size 0 or something like that if you're a woman. It's just not necessary, and it's actually probably going to be doing you more harm than good. And which brings me on to the second point of why are you even doing it? So whatever goal you have to question, why are you even wanting that? So your goal might be to get rich. You might be like wanting to become the next Elon Musk or something. But then why though? Why do you need that? How is your life going to be so much better if you have 100 billion versus having 1 million even? Like, is it really gonna make you feel happier? Why? I mean, it's just that we're seeing all this on social media of people living unrealistic lives, and that's causing a lot of people to think that they should aspire to that, but never really question, but why though? Why do I need that? Why do I need to strive to be the top 0.0000001%? It is so unrealistic. I mean, yeah, it is possible if you dedicate your entire life to it, but even then it's still not guaranteed. And why would you just want to slave for that? You're probably never going to be happy, because if your goal is so far out that it may not be achievable, then you're never probably going to be happy with anything less than that. So by setting realistic goals, it's going to stop you from getting disheartened and going to make you feel more positive and optimistic. And then you focus on the why are you doing it, then that's going to give you purpose. So I would suggest that your why should be around health, around physical health, mental health, and also it could be you want to help others. You want to be able to for example, you might want to do a sponsored run, like a half marathon or a marathon, but you need to get in good shape for that. You can't probably do it very well if you are really overweight, because it's going to hold you back. So that can give you motivation to try and lose some weight. Now, you don't have to go crazy, but it's just to get to a point where it's going to be more practical, so that can keep you accountable. So yeah, just focus on the why, because otherwise you're just going to be trying to achieve your goals without any reason, which inevitably you're just going to end up failing. Like, yeah, just getting these people trying to do, I don't know, like start up a drop shipping business or something, but like, why though? Oh, to get out the rat race. Okay, that's great, but what you have to have a deeper why. What is my purpose in life? How is that going to give me a sense of purpose? Because oftentimes the people that they get, you know, out of the rat race to then just end up being a slave to, you know, to something else. You know, they're a slave to just, they're having to work so hard on some business, and I mean, is it actually giving you fulfillment? You know, you could start up like doing something you actually have a passion for, and even if it makes you less money, but your life will probably have way more fulfillment overall. Like, I'd rather say have, you know, a million, but really have a passion for my job rather than working all the time doing something I hate so that I can become a billionaire. Like, it's just not something. I don't think that money should be the motivator, and your body image shouldn't really be a motivator for trying to get healthy, because that's going to leave you feeling unfulfilled. You're never going to be truly happy if you have the wrong focus on why you're doing it. So yeah, so that's that. So next thing I would say is, so if you're struggling to stay committed, then find somebody who can help you with that. It might be a friend, it might be a family member, but somebody you can tell your goals to, that you can trust, that will actually keep you motivated. Because some people struggle to do it on their own, but having somebody like a friend or a family member who they can tell their goals to, that they're going to keep you accountable. They're going to be like, no, you're just making excuses. You know, come on, you can do better than this. And the thing is, you don't want to like let them down, really. You just want to kind of, you know, make your family and friends proud, so you're probably going to be more likely to stick at it. Now, that shouldn't really be the main reason you do it, but it can help you to stay committed to your goals. So the next thing I would say is, another thing you can do is a vision board. So a lot of people like to do this to help them kind of keep it in their mind, like their goals, so don't get distracted. So this is another way it can help you keep accountable, because you put all of like what you want in life, your vision, like you might want to go on like nice holidays, or you might just want to feel confident on a beach or something like that. But as long as it's something, like I said, as long as it's realistic, you want to be able to, you know, like hike mountains and feel healthy. If you're wanting to do all this stuff, and you want to have a remote business that you can just take anywhere, you have all this on a vision board. You want to, if you're a guy, you might want, you know, beautiful wife. If you're a woman, you want a handsome man. You want a family, maybe. Then you put all that on your vision board. That's something that you can then visualize that end result, and that's going to keep you motivated to actually help you get towards that. So you need like an action plan. So you need all like steps towards that. You need to just focus on these little steps so you can get towards it. Another thing is, you need to track progress. So this can help keep you motivated, because oftentimes people don't even realize how much progress they've made. Maybe they've forgot how much weight they've actually lost. but you could do like before and after photos to kind of track your progress. Maybe it's like if you're a guy and you're trying to build muscle and you're trying to get in shape, then starting from like when you first start and you look really skinny and then you're trying to get jacked, it looks you look better. Another point is actually knowing what the hell you're doing, like, because I know it's kind of basic, but like a lot of people, they go into something like they think that they know what they're doing, but actually they don't. So if you're not making progress with something, even though you feel like you're doing everything right, but maybe you're not, you have to take a step back and think, okay, it might be hard to accept that you've spent a few months just kind of wasting your time, but you have to maybe take a step back and think, okay, there might be some things I'm doing wrong here. Am I getting enough sleep? And that's another point, that sleep is actually really important for helping to be successful. It's going to help you be able to exercise more. It's going to help you recover better from exercise. It's going to help you to be able to focus more, which is crucial if you want to like start a business or something like that. So yeah, just testosterone is actually decreased if you don't get enough sleep. Most people are just not getting enough sleep. They're chronically tired. So yeah, you'll feel probably so much better if you have a good night's sleep than if you have a bad night's sleep. Just from an extra hour or two of sleep, it could really make so much difference. So I would just say, like, make sure your sleep is dialed in. So important. It's one of the most important things. Another thing is reducing stress in your life. So it could be people and situations in your life. Try to get rid of that as much as possible. I know it's not always possible, but try to be mindful of stresses in your life and try to reduce the triggers for stress as much as possible, because this is really crucial. Stress is one of the biggest killers, just like lack of sleep. So these things, you can dial them in, you probably feel like you're way more productive. It's going to be a lot easier to focus. It's going to just it's just going to be so much better. Another thing I would suggest is caffeine and sugar. These are things that can actually hinder you, I would say, in some cases if you overdo it. So caffeine, some people use it to help them feel more energized in the morning, but actually if you do it too much can lead to burnout. And the thing is that when people have this energy, like when they're drinking caffeine, it can often be this like jittery energy that they're going to struggle to focus, and their mind's all over the place and they're just wired. That isn't actually good. And the same with like sugar, where it's like if you have too much refined sugar, that can actually make you just kind of become very like energetic, but that isn't always a good thing. If you want to be focused, then you need to be able to have this kind of slow release of energy. That it's not about always about how much energy you've got, but how you can use that energy. You have to be able to kind of calm yourself down and then you can just kind of focus your mind on your goal. Like if you're like wanting to learn an instrument, for example, a guitar or piano, it's like you need to be able to just kind of relax. And if you're constantly wired and you're on caffeine all the time, that might not, I don't know how true it is, but I would assume that caffeine and sugar and all these stimulants, they can really mess up your ability to stay focused. So yeah, what do you guys think? But I don't think it's going to help anyway. Trying to think if there's anything else that I've not added. But yeah, another thing I would say is don't get too focused on like deadlines and exact goals. or like trying to get to an exact goal by a certain deadline. It can be good to have kind of like, not guidelines, I mean like a sort of rough idea of when you want to achieve your goal, and because that can kind of give you something to focus on. But when you put conditions on things of like, it has to be done by this day, it's going to cause you a lot of stress. And if you're not getting quite to your goal, then oftentimes people end up relapsing, and they end up, you know, like going backwards in some cases, because they have a lot of pressure that causes a lot of stress. So yeah, just don't get too caught up in, you know, like exact goals and things, because, you know, at certain times, I mean, yeah, you might want a certain goal, but like, it doesn't have to be done in that exact time frame. Just kind of just like accept that things aren't always going to be at a certain time, but stay kind of optimistic that, yeah, as long as I keep going, then I'll get to that goal. Sometimes we have unrealistic expectations, and try not to, going back to the point of, you know, don't have unrealistic expectations with your goals. You have to be realistic, of course. It's just kind of common sense. There's people out there trying to tell you be delusional, and a lot of these, like, I hear a lot of these, you know, manifestation people saying be delusional. That's not well, yeah, you're being delusional, and that means that you're probably just going to end up putting a bunch of unnecessary pressure on yourself. I mean, or you're just not going to believe it's going to be true, and you're just going to be living in fantasy land, and I don't recommend that. Another thing is, you have to be prepared for setbacks and failures. This is going to help, you know, like, to not fall off, because oftentimes people will see failure as the end, and it's not. Failure can actually be a good thing, because when we do something wrong and then we're like, things don't work out, then it can teach us something that it's like, okay, this isn't working out now, that, you know, maybe you lost some money, but it's like, you then learn more, and you adjust your strategy with whatever you're trying to do. So it's something we should embrace, and it's just part of the journey. The thing is, the path to success is not a linear path. It's like, it's going to do that at times, where you think, am I doing the right thing here? You know, am I really on the right path here? Because I was like that for a while. Like with my YouTube channel, I started to get a bit disheartened with it, right? But I'd have to kind of take a step back and think, maybe I'm doing things wrong here, and I've adjusted some things, and I think it's actually helping. Like being consistent with like the time that I'm going live and things like that, started to get a bit more viewers, and people seem to be a bit more engaged with it. So, and yeah, so you just have to kind of accept that, you know, setbacks, you know, aren't the end. I mean, we shouldn't even call it failure, because if you're in that mindset of that, when you've made mistakes, that's somehow failure, then you think that's the end. But it's just a one way not to do it, you know. It's an attempt closer to success. So yeah, it's all about your mindset, how you perceive everything that happens to you. Like, we have to learn to have gratitude for everything that happens to us, and instead of thinking that it's happening to us, that it's happening for us. That's the one thing that can actually help you change your perspective on it. So we can't always control external things, but we can control how we respond to it. Sometimes, you know, if setbacks happen, it gives us a chance to go back to the drawing board and figure things out. Another thing I would say is that if your goal is something like starting a business or something like that, then just don't, like, give up if you feel burnt out. Take a step back and have a chance to recover, because that might be all you need. And then suddenly you might get some inspiration. Sometimes it might be a good idea to just take yourself out somewhere that you've never been before. And you never know what kind of inspiration you might get. Just don't stress yourself out. Maybe like just take some time out, because it could be productive even when you're having the time out. So yeah, so you have to just be able to to be able to just kind of know when it's time to take a step back. And there is some times when maybe your goal isn't right, it's something unrealistic, and to just kind of call it a day and do something else. And maybe you just decide one day that it's not something you really want to do, but you just keep doing it because you don't want to, like, it's like the kind of thing of, like, you've done it for so long that you don't want to stop, but that isn't good either, because you have to be open to changing your life path if whatever life path is not any longer serving you. Like, someone might study to do something and they really work on that, and then 5 years down the line they're like, I don't really like it, but they feel like they've just kind of signed their life up to that. But you have to be open to going in a different direction, because that might be more suitable for you in the long run. So yeah, just a lot of people will just stick to what they're doing because it's comfortable, but yeah, sometimes we need to change direction, because that is just not meant for us. So yeah, just sometimes it takes some self-reflection to think, is this really the path that I want to go down? So yeah, just I hope this video inspires people. I hope people got some insight from it. But yeah, if you've got any other points that I haven't raised on this, let me know. But yeah, basically just, to sum it up, just what was it? Yeah, setting realistic goals, achievable goals that aren't ridiculous, and make sure that you find someone to hold you accountable to those goals, but also focus on why is it that I want to do that in the first place. Just kind of like embracing setbacks, and that you might need to change direction. So yeah, just if you do all these things that I said, then hopefully you will get some degree of success in your life. Now, the world isn't fair. Sometimes things happen where you think, why is this going this way? But we can't be thinking like this though. Just do the best that you can. Things aren't always going to go your way. Even if you are the hardest working person in the room, there is still you have to be okay that maybe it will never work out the way that you want it to, but that's fine as long as you can be happy with where you're at right now. So that's the most important thing, is, are you happy right here and now? Like, you don't want to be waiting until you've got, you know, like a six-pack or something to be happy. You have to be happy with your current version, you know, because otherwise you'll never be happy. You are then just attached to outcomes. And I was talking about this the other day, about detaching yourself from outcomes. You want these goals, but like, you have to be non-needy, because oftentimes it's the neediness that actually blocks us from our goals. This, you know, kind of insecurity that we have, especially if we're trying to attract somebody. So focus on what it is that makes you happy right now, you know, because there's so much to be happy about right now. Detach yourself from your body, because that's really just your meat suit. That's just your vehicle that you use to carry yourself around. Try not to focus on that. You are more than just your body, and you're also more than how much money you make. Like, there's way more to life than just getting rich. You can just be happy right now, come out into like the woods or whatever, get out in nature, and just focus on the beauty of the world, because we need to also, another thing I'll mention is, don't let any of these distractions stop you from getting to your goals, because they, like, for example, like negative media and fear mongering and all that can really kind of put you off. But the thing is, like I said, you know, you don't even need to be there in the first place. You need to be grounded in the present moment. The present, it's literally called the present. It's a present, yeah? It's a gift, because the past is gone. It doesn't exist. The future is uncertain. So what we have here is the present, okay? So if you can't be happy right now, then when are you going to be happy? And it's probably going to be never, because you're always going to be chasing something that is outside of this moment. So by living your best life here right now, that is, I think, one of the most important things for your mental health. If you're not happy right now, you're stuck in a rut, then yeah, just get yourself out, touch some grass, maybe like join some social groups or something. Just focus on, you know, focus on the things that really give you joy and happiness and peace. And focus on your self-esteem, that, you know, because a lot of people, they're trying to get a goal because their self-esteem is low. But if you work on that, then you can maybe feel like less of a need to try and get rich or whatever, because oftentimes their motivations is to be that way because they want to attract people and all that. But then you have to think about, why am I even trying to do that? Is it because I don't feel worthy as I am right now? You have to have, you know, like, basically you have to have real confidence and real self-esteem that isn't going to be knocked based on external influences. Like, we can't just let things outside of ourselves influence how we perceive ourselves, and that's the ego. You know, that the ego is fed by external validation, but we have to ascend from that and realize who we are, the power that's within us. So I think that's more important than setting goals and becoming successful in whatever way, because success can happen right here, right now, if you let it. Because what is success to you? What do you mean when you say successful? A lot of people, they think it means having lots of money, having lots of friends, but you've been conditioned to think that that is what you need for a successful life, when really you need to focus on what it means to you. You know, for some people that's just living in a tent in the woods, off grid, and living self-sufficient. You know, for them that is their idea of success, because they aren't trapped in a system that is oppressive. So yeah, just I'm gonna finish it there. So take care, everybody. I will see you all about 7 p.m. UK time when I go live. So peace out, everyone. Bye.